This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's get you up to Nashville and Nissan Stadium. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
And he's definitely a defensive coordinator and a defense's nightmare because his 4.5 speed allows him to break out of a pocket and hurt a team with his legs running downfield. But he really keeps his eyes downfield and wants to throw the football first. Puts a defense in a heck of a spot. Do you go after him or do you fall back? Either way, he wins.
First down, Mariota. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Hunt gets it on the draw from Mahomes. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that. Big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Third and long here for Mariota. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. This will be fielded at the 17. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
On fourth down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 20. From the gun, Mariota. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mariota. And this one is incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now Mariota, incomplete to the tight end Walker, right side. A Titan 1st down, Mariota to Walker.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. See right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Mariota now from the 50. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Mariota gives to Henry. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. The first red zone opportunity for the Titans. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Working out of the gun, Mariota. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So on 4th down, here's the Tennessee field goal unit led by Ryan Suckup. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Suckup will put this one right through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Suckup now set to kick it off following the made field goal. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes.
And incomplete on the deep ball. D'Anthony Thomas, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
There we go.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
Thinking pass.
Here we go now.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, I tell you, you can't fault the pass protection here. He had all day to throw, and he just couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. And quarterbacks will tell you that after a while, they start getting antsy back there. So this is just a great job defensively to stay with these receivers as long as they did.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Following the interception here, Mariota. That is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
On second down, Mariota again. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
To throw is Mariota. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Suckup now set to kick it off following the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision, because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Here we go.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Mariota now on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Titans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the 2nd half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Tyreek Hill on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Throwing is Mariota. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And now here comes Kansas City. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go now.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he's across the 43, extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Mahomes now on first down. Complete to right. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Hunt. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From midfield, here's Mahomes. It's a room to maneuver. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Again, it's Henry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mariota to throw it. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Mahomes now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Able to slither by. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
Mahomes to throw on second down. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Chiefs on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Mahomes going to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Kevin Byard. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Mariota now to throw on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mariota now. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Mariota. Now he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Anthony Hitchens. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Here we go now.
Now here's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete. Some pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. Thomas has got it. Complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So now let's look at the situation. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining. So barring a 1st down, they could conceivably get the ball back.
So now it's all about defense and stopping the clock. Don't give up any yardage, right? Use your timeouts. And your offense always practices going downfield without timeouts. You know, those 2-minute drills, most of them are run in practice without the benefit of timeouts. They want to make it as tough a situation as possible. They're in it right now.
Mariota here to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important 3rd down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Titans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Suckup will put this one right through, and that will make our score 9-0. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done. But, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Suckup now set to kick it off following the made field goal. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Mahomes to throw. His throw incomplete. Sammy Watkins the intended target, and it's second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Here we go.
Now Mahomes. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Here we go now.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. Now a desperation throw deep to... It got his man, complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you. Here we go now.
Back to throw, Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, it's Williams. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Titans are winners here as we say so long from Nashville.